You're welcome to the spot, you know the truth is here. Bronx Tales on a beat, we see it clear. All the cases, all the shadows, we break it down. Pull up a seat, join the fam in this town. Every story matters, every voice you bring. We don't just talk the talk, we let the facts sing. Logan and Bronx, yeah, they lead the way. Shining light in the dark every single day. Yeah. Curiosity welcome, questions never wrong. Here you belong, it's a family strong. From cold cases to the ones unsolved. Together we uncover, together we evolve. No gossip, no rumors, we keep it real. Every detail matters, every clue you feel. We vibe, we learn, we investigate. Bronx Tales True Crime, let's elevate. We stay with us every night and day. We uncover the truth in our own way. Come here, let your mind explore. Bronx Tales True Crime, always more in store. Yeah, welcome home. Yeah, you're never alone.
You are never alone. Y'all, we made it to Friday. I'm so excited. We have a whole weekend now, guys. Ooh-wee. How is everybody? TGIF. I hope everybody's doing well. Welcome in. Welcome in. Anybody have anything exciting going on tonight or this weekend? We're going to be here, and then we're going to be on Crimes After Dark. And that's what we're doing. Woo woo. Hey, Buffalo Chick. Hey, Bianca. Hey, Leah. Tanya. And Beach Babe. Dina. Michelle. We've got 4 hens in the house. We have misleading evidence. Christina. Carol. Jen. All right, guys. Make sure I didn't miss anybody. All right. I would feel bad. I don't want to hurt anybody's feelings. So I had a few emails today. We have a lot of stuff to go over today. I had a few emails, and one of them was explaining the whole contact being saved in Dylan's phone, and that it might not have actually been her putting in a number and saving it into her phone. And I will go over and explain why. Now, I'm not saying it's 100% that is true, but it is very, very possible that it wasn't actually manually saved by Dylan. And we'll explain why. But first, everything is alleged in our opinion only. Always and forever. So, I'm going to share. I'll share. Here we go. And I'll make it bigger. Maybe. Yes. Okay. So this is the information. This was an email that I got. I believe it was from True Crime X, if I'm not mistaken. So this is from AI, and it says, why we know Dylan did not save the contact manually in her phone. The key fact is where the entry was found. Now we know next to the contact, it said interaction C.db Z contacts. That database is part of Apple's Core Duet system, and Core Duet has one very strict rule. It only stores auto-generated contacts, like if you're in an app and somebody sends their information and you open it, something along those lines, I believe, and then your phone automatically knows that that's a contact. It didn't necessarily save it in her contacts, though. I don't think. I'm not 100% sure, though. It never stores manually saved contacts. If Dylan had typed or save a contact, it would appear in contacts.sqlite addressbook.sqlitedb iCloud contacts. But it doesn't say that. It appears only in interaction C. That alone proves it wasn't manually saved. So we know that interaction C, if I'm not mistaken, is Snapchat or Instagram. I think it's Instagram, actually. So it sounds like somebody sent their information through Instagram and Dylan accessed it through Instagram. And the phone was tracking, so it knew that she did that. And that's how it knew that there was a contact that she didn't have in her phone. She possibly could have even saved the contact straight from Instagram, but she did not manually type it in. Either way, she was on Instagram at that time. I just want everybody to have correct information, things like that. So that's why I'm sharing that. As much as I don't care for her, and I think she's a horrible person for how she acted that day or didn't act that day. I mean, at the time she was on Instagram 351, it sounds like there might have already been things going on at that time. So whether she manually put it in or she saved it straight from an app, it doesn't matter. She was using her phone at that time. So it just proves more and more that she wasn't sleeping. She's saving contacts. She's on Instagram. She's using apps. And there's other things going on in this house. So what is interesting is I went through and I looked at the exact times that Dylan was not using her phone. And it's really interesting, the exact times she's not using her phone. There's 4 different time periods that she's not using her phone. And it seems like in all 4 of those little bitty time frames, some are, 30 minutes. One is an hour. One's a little bit over an hour. And one is an hour and 45 minutes. Thank you, Carol. So sweet. Welcome in. Please hit the like button and subscribe. We appreciate all of you. And we appreciate you, Carol, so much. Thank you for all your work here. Hey, Hot Pie. Hey, Jenna. Hey, Steven. Good to see everybody. Thank you, Carol. So it's very interesting the times that Dylan was not on her phone. And the reason I chose to kind of look into that is because I was thinking, look, she is constantly on her phone, apps, texting, calling, apps, taking pictures, taking videos. So why would she be not on her phone just at these short time windows? It's not long enough to like fall asleep and go to sleep. Maybe an hour and a half could be, but I would think after a long night of drinking, a long weekend of drinking, your body wouldn't even wake you up after an hour and a half of doing all that all weekend. So maybe in those times that she wasn't using her phone, it wasn't that she was taking oh, thank you, Buffalo Chick, gifted 5 memberships. We have 5 brand new turtles. Sweet. That's awesome. Thank you so much. We appreciate you. So the times that she wasn't using her phones, I thought, well, she might not be sleeping. And if she's not sleeping, that means she's not on her phone, which means she's doing something else that she can't have her phone with her. I thought, well, maybe those are the times she's cleaning. Maybe those are the times she's doing something else. And yeah, that's pretty much true. Each time she's not using her phone, those are the times that something happens and we can hear it or see it on 1112. So it's not that she's putting her phone down and going to sleep. It's that something else is going on at those times and she's not on her phone. So I want to get through some of these videos. It's 1112 camera, and it's at the exact times that she was not using her phone. And we're going to get through as much as we can. I know that the time frames, some of them are at least an hour. There is only 4, but 2 of them are longer than an hour. So I want to get through what we can. And I'm just going to share my screen and we're going to start. Before I start, start the video, I want to make sure that everybody does understand the fact that the very first time she stopped using her phone for a period of time was at 2:11 in the morning. Now, mind you, that was the time she supposedly was in Maddie's room and they were all chit-chatting. And she said at that exact time was when she texted Eric Gower, and she remembers that because she was walking out of Maddie's room and walking down the stairs. Well, that's the exact time her phone stopped having any activity for the very first time. Coincidentally, or not, we don't have the audio for that exact time. Interesting, right? We have the video from it, but we don't have the audio at that time. The first time we get an audio is at 2:25, which she's still not on her phone then. Dylan stops using her phone, from 2:11 in the morning until 3:51 when she saves that contact through Instagram. But the only time we have is starting at 2:25. Well, I'm going to share this, and I want everybody to remember what happened. This came from Jules's channel. What happened around 2:25? That's what happens when Dylan's not using her phone. And we know that this party noises continue for a while. So that's what's happening when Dylan is not using her phone for the first time that night. So to me, it's starting to prove more and more that those are not party noises. And Dylan knows exactly what's going on. And Dylan may be involved because she's not using her phone. And that's the very first time she's not using her phone for a period of time is when we hear a male in the background yelling at another male, females crying, somebody screaming in horror, and it keeps going on and on. That is not party noises, you guys. Something is happening. And Dylan put her phone down and is not using her phone throughout this whole thing, whatever's happening here at 2 in the morning till 3 something in the morning. That's when Dylan's not using her phone. And that's wild to me that it's really starting to seem like at the exact same time stuff is actually happening and going on throughout the night. Those are the only times she's not using her phone. So I'm not going to play this whole video, but we know what's going on from the 2 o'clock hour to So this video starts at 2:25 and we don't have the sound from before that. It makes me think that possibly something happened at 2:11 to make Dylan get off of her phone. But we don't have that audio. We just have the video. Now we know at 2:25 we hear these loud noises. Thank you, One Take Adventures. Enjoy your channel and your vibe. Hope everyone's having a great Friday. Thank you so much. I hope you're having an amazing Friday, and I hope you do something nice for yourself this weekend. We appreciate you. So, yeah, that's what's going on when Dylan stops using her phone for the first time. That horrific scream, the party noises, those aren't party noises, guys. Well, then the next time she stops using her phone is at 4:32. What's happening then? Dylan stops using her phone again at 4:32, and that's exactly when Murphy's bark starts to go crazy. We know he started barking at 4:17. Dylan's still using her phone at that time. But when Murphy his barks start to get more hectic, Dylan gets off of her phone for exactly 30 minutes, from 4:32 to 5:02. Well, what happens at 4:29, 4:30? The Explorer comes by. Remember? So did she get off of her phone because Hunter Chapin showed up? We know somebody in this Explorer showed up that morning and hung the keys up and then left a different way, whether they got picked up or started walking. We know someone was there and driving that Explorer because it wasn't there before. So it seems to me Dylan stopped using her phone at the 4:32 mark because somebody was there or was there to pick her up. One of the two. But once again, now the second time Dylan stops using her phone is when something significant happens. The Explorer comes back. Murphy starts going hectic with his barking and doesn't stop. And she stays off of her phone the entire time Murphy is barking. The entire time. Let's see. Oh, this only goes till 5. And she gets back on her phone at 5:02. These are pretty coincidental. So now both of the time frames, the first 2 time frames that Dylan stopped using her phone was when the horrific scream and all those party noises were going on. And then she gets back on her phone at 3:51 for about 45 minutes. At 4:32, she stops using her phone again, which is when the Explorer gets there. And Murphy's bark starts going even more crazy. And she stays off of her phone until Murphy stops barking. Then, oops. Then we have the third time frame. Hey, DKM, good to see ya. Skilla says, I'm convinced. Oh, you're so pretty. I'm convinced there are a lot of people in that house at the time of the scream. Many cars going around, people coming and leaving. Oh, yeah, those are for sure not party noises. And here's the thing. I know a lot of people go back and forth about the audio. Are we able to hear inside that house from this camera? Is the audio real? Is it manipulated? Is it altered? Is it altered by the person who's showing the audio and fixing the audio? I don't know. I'm not an audio person, but I do know that the noise is coming from that area that everyone, or not everyone, some people are calling just party noises, seem to sound the same as other noises we hear that are coming from the house, that we know are coming from inside that house. So yeah, I think we can hear inside that house. I surely do. Especially that scream. So Dylan gets back on her phone at 5:02. And she uses it up until 6:25. From 6:25 till 8:05, so an hour and 45 minutes, Dylan stops using her phone. What I find interesting about that time is that's when the neighbor saw the front door open. So did she have her phone put down because that's when she was cleaning? Because we know at in between 5 and 6 is when she was taking pictures and videos of everything. And then at 6:25, she stops using her phone for an hour and 45 minutes. But we know the front door was seen open by the neighbor. So at 6:48, the only thing I really found, let me share. The only thing I really found was this vehicle.
There's that cat again. I see it. Okay, here comes this. Did you not know where you were going?
Yeah. Jewel says, did you not know where you were going? And first of all, to me, this car looks like an older model Jimmy or Blazer. I know somebody else did a video on this vehicle and said it resembles a cop SUV or a cop truck. I think it looks like a Blazer to me. The color of the lights even prove that it's an older model. That's what I think it is. But what I think is happening right here is they're looking at their GPS. They stop because they're not sure which way to go, if they keep going straight or if they turn. And then when they turn, they start speeding up. Could that car be going to 1122? Because they're surely not from this area or don't live in this area. They're not pulling in because that's where they live, I don't think. Because they surely were acting like they were looking at a GPS and wasn't sure if they should turn or keep going straight. Yeah, I thought so too. Turkey Creek says it's an older model SUV. It definitely is. That's what I see as well. So in my opinion, it definitely is. To me, it looks like either a Jimmy or a Blazer. Those are the only ones that have that cut in the back window that goes at an angle. But yeah, so when Dylan's not using her phone, this vehicle, who seemingly doesn't know where they're going, pulls up.
Who are you? Who is this?
And then speeds up into
But I'm not quite sure. It looks sort of familiar.
And I think that's all we have. Yeah, that's all we have for that video. So again, now the third time Dylan puts her phone down and isn't using her phone, now it seemingly looks like somebody who doesn't know where they're going is turning into the neighborhood. I'm not saying they went to 1122, but it's possible. So from 6:25 to 8:05 is when she's not using her phone. So here we have the video from the 7 a.m. hour. And here's what's happening at the 7 a.m. hour. So I didn't go through and listen to all of them. I just went through and watched them. So there could be noises in here that I'm not hearing yet because I haven't actually listened to the whole thing. But I can tell you that at 7:14, somebody walks by. And then at 7:58, oh, sorry. Thank you so much, Jamie. That's so amazing. You guys are so great. Happy Friday. Thank you so much. So sweet. At 7:50, we have this vehicle going by. Now, I'm not saying that everything we see is nefarious in these things. This could just be a neighbor that lives there. No clue. But a car goes by at 7:51. And then here. Yeah, Donna, I think you're right. Donna says, wasn't that the car of the person who was in the police canvassing who said they got home from a night shift? The car, meaning the car at 6:30-ish. I think you're right. I think so. No Coast, No Boast. I like that name. No Coast, No Boast says, has anyone else heard I loved you and I hate you for this about 50 plus times in audio? Matches the wounds count. Everyone forced to get dirty. That's how they keep lips sealed. So I did. Thank you, Jamie, for becoming a member. You guys, we have a brand new turtle. Let's welcome Jamie to our new turtle land. So when I was listening to the audio, and I did say a couple weeks ago I was going to step back from the audio. It doesn't mean I stopped listening to it. I just, I'm not an audio expert, so I don't really want to comment on something that I know nothing about, and I'm not really sure what I'm hearing. But we do hear in the audio, or I think I hear anyways in the audio, what sounds like somebody being attacked, but it almost sounds like you can hear something with each wound, almost like a small grunt of some sort. That's what I think I hear. I'll have to go back and listen to make sure I'm totally correct, but I could have swore when I was listening to it, that's what I kept thinking I was hearing. So yeah. The person walking was female. this person walking is female anyway. She's going to come back. I thought maybe it was the person who saw the front door open at 1122 King Road, but they don't have a dog with them, and they said they were walking their dog. Yeah, she does look like she might just be out walking. Yeah, walking the opposite way. But then she comes back, what? 30 minutes later, 35 minutes later. And I'm not saying she has anything to do with anything. I don't know who she is. What the heck? Is that a frog? I want to tell you guys something. So about a week ago, I was going back. That sounds like a frog. I was going back at the very beginning to listen to some short videos that like some psychics maybe put out to see if anyone ended up getting it right. And there was one lady, she didn't have very many views, but she was doing tarot cards and she pulled a card and she said, "Oh, weird. Pumpkins." You guys, I was like, no freaking way. Because it was the beginning. We didn't have this footage yet. It was the very beginning of the case. And she pulls a card and says, "Oh, wow, pumpkins." She said, "I don't know what that could have to do with the case. What would pumpkins have to do with the case?" And I'm like, the pumpkins on the camera at 1112. That was crazy. Yeah, crows are a bad omen. Is that what this is? Crows? I thought maybe it was a frog. Weird. Exactly, Pokey. Pokey says, "Where did this lady go? Did I miss her coming back?" It's the only reason I was playing it. Do any of you think that some of the documents we got, not yesterday, but the day before on Dylan's phone, does anybody think that the writing on them looks really strange? Just the writing itself? Like, it looks like some of the letters are like tilted and like it's been altered. Some of them are like bolder than the other ones. We know one area is just completely whited out. Huh. I'm not sure where it's at, but she ends up coming back not too much later. The girl walking. But I don't remember where it's at. But that's okay. So, all right. So that was another time frame of Dylan's phone from 7 to 7:51. She is still off of her phone up until 8:05. So I'm going to play this. Oops. Here we go. Here we go. Okay. Let me make this bigger. I'm only going to play it for 5 minutes. Whoops. Sorry, guys. I don't know what's going on. All right. So, I didn't even share it. My goodness. Here we go. Okay. So this one is from 8 to 8:05. I just want to see. I haven't read or seen this one yet, so I just want to see if there's anything in these 4 or 5 minutes that shows anybody pulling up or not. Because Dylan at this time is still not using her phone. I'm thinking that the cleanup time was between 6:25 and 8:05. That's what I think. That's also when the front door was open. Hey, RJ. Hey, Eric. Hi, Kimmy. Let's see what she's saying. Oh, yeah. So they're awake. Okay, hold on though then. Nope, she's not. Not yet. 2 more minutes she would be. But that's an interesting point. So at 8:00, Bethany calls her parents and talks to her dad. Um, so we know that she's awake. I would assume Dylan's awake then as well. But 2 minutes or 3 minutes after Bethany calls her dad, Dylan starts using her phone again. So it sounds like possibly, now this is just my opinion, not my opinion. This is just speculation. It could be that from 6:25 when Dylan stops using her phone to 8:00 is when they were cleaning up. Now, they stopped cleaning up at about 8:05. That's when Dylan gets back on her phone. That's when Bethany gets on her phone to call her parents. Interesting. Very interesting. I don't think anything happens at this in these 5 minutes. Candy says, I don't think Bethany was there. I know I might be wrong, but she is so dodgy. Yeah, she definitely wanted to make herself as innocent as possible, as far away from any of this and any of these people as possible. She knew what happened, though. She knew what was going on. Oh, we've got a car leaving. That's crazy. We've got a car leaving exactly 1 minute before Dylan gets back on her phone. So was somebody there helping? And then they left and they stopped cleaning. And that's when Bethany got back on her phone. And that's when Dylan got back on her phone because they weren't doing anything anymore. Interesting, right? These time frames are really interesting. So then she only has one more time that she isn't using her phone. And it's from exactly 8:15 in the morning till exactly 10 o'clock in the morning. And I haven't watched this at all. I have this one from 9 to 10, but I could not find from 8 to 9. I'm sure it's in there somewhere. I just haven't been able to find it yet. One second. It's thinking. Ooh. Just shows you where it's just, I think it's a lot closer than we think it is. I used to watch Deadliest Catch all the time, and Dirty Jobs with Mike Rowe. So this is the last time frame that Dylan is not using her phone. Oh, Bianca gifted 5 new turtles. Thank you so much. We appreciate you more than you could ever know. Thank you. The camera is approximately about 20 feet from Xana's room. Yeah, it's not as far away as people want to make it seem like it is. What is that? Pokey makes a good point. Pokey says, do y'all think the time difference in the beginning of the 911 call and end of call times out or are we just believing the timestamp? I don't know. I know I'm showing videos of specific timestamps tonight, but I personally still struggle with all of the timestamps. All of them. We don't know what's altered and not at this point. We know things are altered. Do you guys think the times are altered in certain areas of these videos or the 911 call? Or I mean, yeah, I think that things are altered. I'm just not sure which ones. And I don't trust anything MPD put out. I don't either. The thing with MPD is they were so sneaky, or thought they were so sneaky, that anytime something was mentioned, they would then hurry up, run, and go back and write a report. But in my opinion, they dated it to the time around the crime, right? But I think they were writing those reports years later, just so they would look like they fit the narrative. Reality says, I don't know. I think there's covering up certain sounds. I think they're cutting out certain cars. And what I find interesting is the fact that we know that they have put filters over certain vehicles, over certain people. How is it that somebody in one of these videos just appears in the middle of the street out of nowhere? And the camera's not gonna do that either. So we know that they're altering things. We know that they're editing. We know that they're putting filters on. So no, I wouldn't be surprised if like a time like this when nothing's going on, if there's actually cars coming in and out of here, but they just covered it up with a time frame that was from before or the day before and just putting a timestamp on it as it's today or this day. It's not that difficult to do. Oh, is that the neighbor walking their dog at 9 in the morning? Interesting. So she's just coming home at 9 in the morning. That has to be the neighbor that saw their door open. Very interesting. We don't have to watch the whole thing. I just want to... Oh, here we go. Here's a white car coming in. Dylan is not using her phone at this time. Even that car just sounded like it had a grumbly muffler. You know how the black Ford Explorer, how people were like, "Oh, we can't, that can't be theirs. Those cars don't make those noises." That sounds like a diesel truck. Did you just hear that car? That car sounded grumbly. At the very end there, it sounded grumbly. Is that the white car that was on video and it's coming back to the scene? Is that the car that they tried to say was Brian Koberger coming back to the scene? Who knows? But we know it's not Brian Koberger. It's a Toyota. Here's a car leaving. This is when Dylan is still not using her phone. I'm just going for the visuals right now. See if we can see anybody or anything. Oh. The neighbor's car coming in. Thompson said Brian did not return. Correct. Well, we know that Brian was never even in the area because Thompson said he wasn't there, that he never had any contact with the home or the people in it. The closest he ever got to that home was over a football field away. We've got a neighbor walking down the street or somebody walking down the street. Walking to their car, put stuff in it. That car leaves. Oh, there's another car. That's that same car. That's weird. I mean, it's not weird that the same car, maybe they live there, but it's just weird that this is the time Dylan is not using her phone. And we've got the same car coming in and out. It's almost like I picture like Dylan saying, "Hey, we need this type of cleaner. Go buy this." Or "We need more rags. Go buy this." They look like they're on a mission. Yeah, it was silver. That one was silver. Yep, we will get justice. I agree. We absolutely will. I cannot wait to see what exactly Brian Koberger is going to file. I'm telling you it's coming. I've been saying that before anybody else said it. I said that. I also find it almost comical in a sense that the Gonsalves family and the other families have Brian Koberger listed under the plaintiffs in the WSU lawsuit. Meaning they need Brian Koberger on their side for the WSU lawsuit for them to win, for them to win the case and get $400 million. So now you're asking for Brian Koberger to be on your side. Now, if he does show up for the plaintiff's side, I'm very curious if he will be like cross-examined and will have to answer certain questions about that night. Who knows? No, Brian, Kimmy says, was Brian an incel virgin or did he have an ex-girlfriend? He had an ex-girlfriend. Sorry. Not only did he have an ex-girlfriend, but he had a friend that was a girl at his school, and he would hang out with her all the time. He was seen leaving the grocery store about this time in the morning with a female. He was not an incel by any stretch of the word. He went to pool parties. He would sit between females trying to get their number or see if they want to hang out sometime. He did get one girl's number and he texted her and he was perfectly nice about it. He's not an incel by any means. I think that's... Oh, there's another car. That looks like an older, maybe Pathfinder. An older one, though. Is that girl? Oh, we've got a neighbor getting in his truck. I think this is just regular every morning activities for them, probably. I don't really see anything nefarious in this time, but it could be the time that Dylan and Bethany are trying to figure out what to do. And this is the last time frame that Dylan had her phone not in her hands, had it laying somewhere or sitting somewhere. No activity on her phone at this time. And this is really the only time where nothing is really happening. But we know that between 2:11 and 3:51, we hear all those screams and all those party noises. From 4:32 to 5:02, when Dylan wasn't using her phone during those 30 minutes, we have Murphy going crazy. We have a car coming in and out. We have lots of stuff going on then. 6:25 to 8:05, we have cars coming in and out. One car looked like they were looking for a specific house but couldn't find it. And then the 8:15 to 10 o'clock, I don't really see much going on. I do want to share this. So in some of these videos from 1112 in the morning hours, so Carol says, will we be seeing Bethany's phone records? I doubt it, but I'd love to see them. I think the reason that Dylan's phone records were admitted into court and then sealed is because the grand jury thought that something was nefarious going on, and you'd be able to see something nefarious going on specifically in her phone. I have no idea if we'll get Bethany's records, but I surely hope we do. I really would like the victim's phone records from the same time frame as Dylan's would be fine. Thank you. So I'm going to share this. We know in the morning hours, somebody was walking their dog up towards 1122 King Road But is it Murphy being walked back? Is that Murphy? Now you can go back and watch the video. I think I found the video on True Crime Forensics channel. Just ignore what he's saying because I don't really remember what he's saying, but I do remember thinking, we don't know that for a fact. Just go and look at the video. I just took a screenshot of the dog and the person. He thinks the person might be Lyndon Beck walking the dog back to 1122. I don't know if I think that. I also think it could possibly maybe be Jack. I could be very, very wrong, but Jack does wear those big honking white shoes, and his leg shape seems to look similar, very thin at the bottom. And those are the shoes he had on that night. And we know he likes to wear a hoodie. Again, these are the shoes he had on that night. He always likes to put his hood up, keep his hood up, and the person walking what looks to be Murphy has those big old honking white shoes that look exactly like his. His legs look the same, and he's in a hood. It could be Murphy. It could not be Murphy. I have no idea. But if it is, I'm just curious who's walking him back to the house at whatever it was, 10 in the morning or something like that. Yeah, I absolutely want to see the phone calls from Bethany. I want to see the victims' phone calls. And that's another thing. The first time frame that Dylan puts her phone down and is not using her phone is the time frame where where Kaylee and Maddie are calling Jack back to back to back to back to back to back, and then their phones go silent. Dylan is still not using her phone at that time. So when we hear those noises that are not party noises, very clearly, females crying, a male screaming at another male, saying, I thought we were brothers, or whatever the heck he's saying, it doesn't sound like party noises. And to me, it's coming from the inside of the home. That's when Dylan puts her phone down for the first time and is not using it. Which then, after the scream we hear, that's horrific, is when Kaylee and Maddie start calling Jack back to back to back to back to back, and then their phones fall silent forevermore. Forever. Their phones never are worked again. Never used again. And that's when Dylan's phone is not being used. Is it possible because Dylan was busy and she couldn't be using her phone because she needed both hands with whatever was going on inside the home? I just find the time frames that Dylan puts her phone down and is not using it at all are very specific times where shit's going down. Could that be why she's not using her phone? That is actually what we have for you today. I was thinking about watching all of the time frames, but we don't need, that would take us literally 5 hours and we don't need to do that. I can watch some of them on my own and see if I hear anything in there, and then we'll do it the next live. But I want to show you guys our Bronx's buddy of the day. But today it is a tribute to A.R. Hayes' baby. Oh, it's not going to let me do full screen. A.R. Hayes' baby. Why does it do this? That's so annoying. Aspen. Aspen was, oh, thank you, Gulf Coast. You are so appreciated. Gulf Coast sent a 1999 super sticker. That is amazing. Thank you so, so much. You guys are so incredible. This is Aspen. This is A.R. Hayes' baby, and this is a tribute to Aspen. He had to put her down, I believe, yesterday, due to an illness. I believe she had cancer. So she was in a lot of pain and he had to put her down. I do want to take just a quick moment of silence for Aspen. Thank you, guys. This is Bronx's buddy of the day today. This is a tribute to Aspen, A.R. Hayes' baby that he lost yesterday. So sad. I really couldn't imagine. I truly could not imagine. Yep, they lost her. She's no longer in pain. She no longer has cancer. She's no longer sick. She gets to play as much as she wants and be a puppy again. But it's so very sad. It's just really sad. Make sure and like and subscribe today if you haven't already. Do it on the way out. I'd appreciate it so much. Thank you for all of our supers. And let's see, what do we got? We got Gulfstream. We got Bianca, who gifted 5 turtles. Jamie became a new member. We thank you for that. Jamie gave us $2. Bianca sent 1 turtle membership. One Take Adventure with the $4.99. Buffalo Chick gifted 5. And Carol started off strong. Please hit that like button. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. I will see you later tonight on Crimes After Dark. Do something nice for yourself today. Be kind, but more importantly, be kind to your animals. Bye, guys.